The lights rise over Great American Ballpark tonight, and what should feel like just another late August divisional game carries more weight than the number in Vegas. The Cardinals enter 66-69, clinging to hope, while the Reds sit at 68-66, still alive but sliding. Two teams tangled not only in the standings, but in a park where baseball doesn't play fair, where routine fly balls have a way of becoming souvenirs. Matthew Liberatore takes the ball for St. Louis. His line shows a 6.11 record, 4.27 ERA, 1.29 WHIP across 126 innings with 98 strikeouts and 32 walks. But the numbers don't hide the truth. His strikeouts are too few, his contact too high, and on the road, runs follow him like a shadow. He doesn't command games, he survives them. And survival is not enough in this park. Zach Littell answers for Cincinnati. His 9.8 record, 3.62 ERA, 1.13 WHIP across 154 innings with 106 strikeouts and only 26 walks suggest control. But his history against St. Louis is fraught, 0.02, an ERA north of 6. They've seen him, they've timed him, and they've burned him before. Littell forces contact, and in this hitter's park, contact can be louder than strikeouts. Both offenses mirror each other in raw production, around 4.5 runs per game. St. Louis ranks low in slugging, but lately they've defied it. 7 of their last 10 have gone over. Cincinnati, cold in Los Angeles, is due for correction. Ellie De La Cruz and TJ Friedel see left-handers well, and Liberatore gives them exactly that look. The market set the line at 8.5. Other books show 9 with the under juiced. That reveals the tension, the public leaning low, the books shading high. Here lies the fracture. It isn't the park that inflates runs. It's the memory that every ball in the air could become more than it should. The system flagged this matchup too. In hitters' parks with 2 contact pitchers and a total below 9, the model shows a 64% over rate across thousands of simulations. And today's AI pick is over 8.5 runs. Will we cash or will we burn? Next up, Abaddon steps into the fire.
Citizens Bank Park opens its gates again tonight, and the story is not just first place versus fourth, but the tension between a fragile arm and an unforgiving lineup. The Braves arrive battered at 61-72, losers of 3 straight. The Phillies stand taller at 76-57, leading the division but still reeling after a sweep in New York. One side searching for dignity, the other seeking retribution. And in that collision, Vegas posts a number, 8.5 runs, that feels more like a dare than a line. Bryce Elder takes the ball for Atlanta. His season tells a painful truth. 5.9 record, 6.12 ERA, 1.51 WHIP, 96 strikeouts against 44 walks over 117 innings. He doesn't command games, he endures them. His career against Philadelphia is even darker, 0-1 with a 9.24 ERA in just over a dozen innings. Elder allows traffic, and in Citizens Bank Park, traffic doesn't just move, it explodes. A single mistake to Schwarber or Harper can turn base runners into 4 quick runs. Ranger Suarez counters for Philadelphia. His numbers shine brighter. 10-6 record, 3.07 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, 122 strikeouts in 126 innings. He's the steadier arm, left-handed and confident, but history says he isn't untouchable. The Braves have seen him 12 times before, and Atlanta, despite their poor record, still owns 152 home runs this season. Just days ago against Miami, Olsen, Albies, Harris, and Profar all went deep in the same game. Power like that doesn't need rhythm. It needs only one mistake. Both lineups are wired for damage. The Phillies average 5.3 runs per game at home, top 10 in nearly every offensive metric. The Braves are streaky, but when their bats connect, games tilt into chaos. Elder's volatility ensures crooked innings are always on the table. Suarez is good, but he can't erase the weight of a Braves lineup that has punished left-handers before. Vegas hangs 8.5. Both handicappers leaned under, pointing to Suarez's steadiness and Atlanta's inconsistency. But that creates the fracture. It isn't steadiness that defines this matchup. It's volatility. Elder's collapse risk, Citizens Bank Park's run environment, and two lineups capable of turning singles into storms. And today's AI pick is over 8.5 runs. Will we cash or will we burn? Next up, Hada takes the stage.
Right field sets its stage tonight under the weight of imbalance. The Yankees come in at 73-60, their bats leading baseball in runs, slugging, and home runs. The White Sox sit broken at 48-85, buried in the standings, dismissed by the market. The line reflects that dismissal. New York favored heavily at 2.15, the run line tilted at 1.5. But it's in that imbalance where the hidden play emerges. Carlos Rodon returns to the mound for the Yankees. His season has been sharp on paper: 14-7, 3.24 ERA, 1.07 WHIP, 172 strikeouts in 158 innings. But numbers do not always tell the whole story. In his last outing, he issued a season-high 5 walks. That detail matters. For all his strikeouts, Rodon has allowed base runners in volume. Against his former team, in this park, a few misplaced fastballs and another wild inning can shrink the gap between these clubs to just 1 run. Yoendris Gomez starts for Chicago. A rookie, yes, and vulnerable on paper. 3-1 record, 4.73 ERA, 1.48 WHIP in only 32 innings. But his last outing against Minnesota revealed something else. 4.2 scoreless innings, 6 strikeouts, only 2 hits allowed. He doesn't need to dominate, he just needs to give Chicago 5 innings of resilience, handing the game to a bullpen that can bend without breaking. Offensively, the Yankees dominate the charts. 225 home runs, top in MLB. The White Sox lag near the bottom, averaging only 3.9 runs per game. But markets shape perception, and perception shapes price. Public money will always pour on the Bronx Bombers. That's why Chicago at plus 1.5 isn't simply insurance, it's opportunity. A home team getting a run and a half at plus money is a slot books rarely leave open without intention. The story doesn't have to be an upset. The Sox don't have to win. They just have to lose close. Rodon's walk rate, Gomez's unpredictability, and Chicago's ability to keep games tight against left-handed pitching give them that path. Even in defeat, there is cover. Even in collapse, there is margin. And today's AI pick is White Sox plus 1.5. Will we cash or will we burn? Next up, Angel waits in the shadows.
The mile-high air waits in silence tonight, and when the first pitch is thrown at Coors Field, every ball in play becomes a coin flipped into chaos. The Cubs arrive with a 76-58 record, chasing the division, their bats steady and their pitching sharp. The Rockies stumble in at 38-96, last place, battered by a season that never offered them shelter. But the line posted by Vegas is not about standings. It's a number steeped in altitude, 11.5 runs. Cade Horton makes the start for Chicago. A rookie right-hander, his numbers shine. 8-4, 2.88 ERA, 1.16 WHIP across 93.2 innings. His control has been excellent, his ERA sparkling. But Coors Field is not like any other park. No pitcher, however young or talented, escapes its thin-air physics untested. Breakers don't bite the same, fastballs lose their late life, and even soft contact carries. A rookie's first exposure here is a trial by fire. German Marquez answers for Colorado. A veteran, but his season reflects decline, 3-11, 5.68 ERA, 1.63 WHIP in 98 innings. He allows base runners freely, and at Coors, those base runners do not linger, they score. Against a Cubs lineup averaging nearly 5 runs per game, with 179 home runs and a .425 slugging percentage, Marquez is a candle in the wind. Chicago's offense needs little help, and Coors gives them plenty. A lineup built on power and contact steps into the league's most inflated run environment. 7-9 Cubs runs is not a ceiling, it's an expectation. But the over does not rest on them alone. The Rockies, scoring just 3.7 runs per game overall, often awaken in Denver. Facing Horton in his first Coors test, even a below-average lineup can find 3 or 4 runs in 5 innings. And when the bullpens enter, Colorado's with a 5.95 ERA, .299 opponent average, and a save rate near 54%, The margin for late inning eruption only widens. Public bettors see 11.5 and hesitate, drawn toward the under by fear of the number. But Coors has no sympathy for hesitation. Here, runs come not in trickles but in floods, and 11.5 is not a warning, it is an invitation. And today's AI pick is over 11.5 runs. Will we cash or will we burn?
Dodger Stadium shines beneath the lights tonight, and with it comes another chapter in a rivalry where margins rarely stretch as wide as the odds. The Dodgers sit at 77-57 first place, swinging the league's most dangerous lineup. The Diamondbacks trail at 66-69, a team clawing for relevance, fighting to hold their ground. The market leans heavy, Dodgers 190, run line 1.5. Arizona at plus 1.5 comes shaded down at 135, but it is inside that shading that the value hides. Blake Snell gets the call for Los Angeles. On the surface, his numbers gleam. 3-2 record, 1.97 ERA in 32 innings. But deeper down, his command shows cracks. 15 walks against 30 strikeouts, a whip of 1.38. This is the Snell profile. Unhittable at times, erratic at others. Against a Diamondbacks lineup with patience and power, 186 home runs, 324 on-base percentage, fifth in slugging at 439. Those free passes can't be ignored. Arizona counters with Zach Gallen, once the unquestioned ace, now burdened with a .913 record and a 5.14 ERA. But Gallen's career numbers remind us of what's underneath. Nearly 1,000 innings of .359 ERA pitching. More than 1,000 strikeouts, a whip barely above 1.16. This season has humbled him, but he knows the Dodgers and he knows how to tighten games even in struggle. Division matchups compress variance. The history of 3-1 in May shows just how slim the margin can be. Offense leans Dodgers, 201 home runs, 5.2 runs per game, Freddie Freeman hitting .302, Shohei Ohtani driving 45 homers. But Arizona isn't far behind. 4.9 runs per game, Ketel Marte hitting .289 with 23 home runs, Corbin Carroll with 27 long balls, Perdomo driving in 87 runs. Both lineups rank top 6 in baseball. This isn't one-sided fire. Public money will pour on the Dodgers' run line. They are the glamour side, the power side. But the contrarian edge sees a tighter script. Gallen finding just enough, Snell offering just enough traffic, and the Diamondbacks losing close or even stealing a late cover. At Pulse 1.5, they don't have to win. They just have to resist collapse. And today's AI pick is Diamondbacks 1.5. Will we cash or will we burn? Soon, Lilith returns with the reckoning of every fire we lit tonight.
The ledger opens and the 5 fires are written. In Cincinnati, 2 shaky arms met in a hitter's park. Matthew Liberatore and Zach Littell could not hide from variance. The call was clear, over 8.5 runs. In Philadelphia, Bryce Elder faced Ranger Suarez, and Citizens Bank Park waited for crooked innings. Despite every lean toward the under, the fracture glowed bright. The pick, over 8.5 runs. On the south side, Carlos Rodon returned to his old team. His walks, Gomez's unpredictability, and imbalance itself made the line too heavy on chalk. The cover came not through triumph, but resistance. White Sox fell 1.5. High in Denver, the ball carries where air is thin and bullpens shatter. Horton untested, Marquez fading, chaos guaranteed. The fire spoke loud, over 11.5 runs. And in Los Angeles, the glamour of Dodger blue hid the truer play. Blake Snell's walks, Gallen's defiance, and 2 elite offenses colliding in division. They didn't need to win, only to keep it close. The call, Diamondbacks plus 1.5. That is the record of this night. En español, en Cincinnati, tomamos altas de 8.5 carreras. En Filadelfia, llamamos altas de 8.5 carreras. En Chicago, elegimos medias blancas, son .5. En Denver, la jugada fue altas de 11.5 carreras. Y en Los Ángeles, el fuego señaló Diamondbacks Pulse 1.5. And the ledger closes with an old whisper, a German glyph echo. Wer nicht wagt, der nicht gewinnt. He who dares not, wins not.